So, we're officially going. The combine had one more surprise for us after we got going. We ran a full round around the field, which when I say round, a round is down to the end of the strip and all the way back. You can see Dad's getting ready to go again. It's running right about 60. Moisture was kind of high this morning, so we actually shut down for about an hour. So far, we're pretty happy. They're a little tough. The stalks are green, but the beans are dry. They were 10. The moisture was at 10% the other day, and now this morning when we started, they were running 13.2 was a pretty firm average. We shut down for an hour. The sun came out, which the clouds seem to know how to do that. It was about pretty well just like this when we went to go start. We made half a round earlier and the clouds really rolled in, and that really made a difference too. The beans started to get tough on us, and combine starts to bark. See, we got 20-foot head. I wouldn't want to put a 25 on it. Maybe if we tuned up the engine a little bit, because quite honestly, that 20-foot head pulling in beans like it is, it actually pulls that combine down a bit more than I'd like. I gotta say, it makes you grit your teeth really good, because I really don't want to plug that front end of that combine up and have to dig that combine out. They say it's the issue we had earlier. It was a 5-minute fix. I can keep you. All it was is that when we replaced that belt on Monday, actually that was Tuesday, but when we replaced that belt, I tightened up a shield a little bit too tight, and it was catching just enough friction that was making some noise. But I think we got all the bugs pretty well scared out of it. We're dumping everything to the grain bin for the time being. I haven't really talked to Gavelon here lately, but they said that they were not planning on taking any soybeans, or not willing to take any soybeans until the first of the month. They're saying rain the first part of the week. Generally, this will be, I can count on one hand how many times we've actually put beans in this bin up here. But you guys can see how dusty that is. One of the rare times I'll zoom in. My thing is, they're saying rain Monday, Tuesday. So we got today, Friday, Saturday, Sunday to run. We'll get at least the farms down home pretty well done, especially if we can just run and just dump right into the bins. We'll see how it all works. I'm being optimistic that we can get a fair share of these soybeans done. Dad wanted to get the beans started earlier this year. He wanted to actually, hopefully we can run through the majority of our soybeans before we even have to do any corn. If you guys can tell, the corn is still holding its greenness. So these are the outside rows, but the leaves are still pretty green yet. after that. I just destroyed some 300 bushel corn. You guys can see it's not exactly dry yet. I mean, I don't have my other hand, but this is anywhere between 27 and 30%. Now, I'm not saying that because I can just look at a ear of corn and say, yep, that's 30%. We actually pulled off a few ears and tested them. We're sitting right at 30%. And the thing is, I don't know how it manages to do it, but the combine actually puts on 2% of moisture when you run it through the combine. So if the moisture tester says 30, we're probably sitting around 32% yet. Doesn't bother me one bit. Does that sound weird? I'm actually okay that it's still got some moisture yet. Well, the reason I'm okay with it is because grain prices suck, and they did rebound today a little bit by a few cents. And I say basis, our basis is separate from the futures price. I say I locked in all of our basis. So we gained, depending on which contract, anywhere from 30 to 50 cents. And that's this is my first year separating basis from futures. And I think I just got incredibly lucky. Because hey, this looked like an acceptable price compared to what I've seen, what basis was last year when we were harvesting. That boils down to the question, am I better off? What would the majority of you prefer? Lucky or smart? I prefer a combination of both, but I don't know. Hold on, spin you guys around here. It's a pretty early harvest. The corn is actually, if you look across the field, it's pretty green yet. Hopefully, there's some very positive yield numbers out there, hopefully. I don't know, I'm trying to be conservative, trying to be realistic, because you start expecting anything, especially this early in harvest, you're gonna usually be on the downside of that, on that argument. If you start arguing that we have awesome yields out there, might come back to bite you in the butt. But here's our current setup at the auger. Set up to the bin. It's chained up up top because that thing catches the wind. The wind catches it and rocks it back and forth up on top of the bin, and we don't want to risk losing any of the product, in this case beans, out the side of the bin. Never had that issue. I've heard of people potentially doing that, where they're putting beans or corn or a product into a grain bin, and they never really took the time to actually check the bin as you're putting the product in, and they were actually missing the top ring or the opening, and they were actually throwing the product over the back of the bin because they were missing the hole by a third or a half. Or I mean, I don't think you could be so bad as you miss it by 100%, but well, I bet if we asked enough people, somebody would surprise me. But there she is, folks. So we got the spreader running. This bin will probably be well over halfway full. Considerably over halfway full. Seems how we only have 15 acres done, and the stuff's practically eye level with me. But I don't know. just going to keep hoping that the yields stay promising where they are right now and they don't plummet too much. But this is going to be it for this video. I'm going to talk to you guys in a little bit here for tonight. So take care, take it easy, keep in touch. Talk to you later.